everybody. Oh my goodness, you guys are so much fun. So as per usual, I actually got this God nudge a few days ago, and yep, I have been sitting on this one. However, it's amazing when a storm hits, suddenly I am forced into the office, so I have to catch up with my office stuff. So here I am, and I hope you guys are all okay and enjoying the epicness of this storm. So today's kind of chat video get together, I am trying to avoid paperwork maybe just a little bit, is I have just done my calculations as we're coming to the end of the month, and I am now sitting on 8,000 hours. So this is 8,000 hours of doing equine assisted therapy, equine assisted learning, and horseback therapy, hippotherapy, whichever name you would like to use. First of all, where the hell has that time gone? That is crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. So the reason why I thought actually I should just pause a second and reflect is when I first set up Spirit of the Phoenix, one of my life goals is to do it for 10,000 hours. Like, I'm getting closer. I'm 2,000 hours off reaching that goal. And I thought it would be kind of good for me, and hopefully you'd like it too, to share 8 lessons from 8,000 hours. Now, this 8,000 hours is literally me working with people. It doesn't include the horse care, the business side of things, all the other stuff. It doesn't include. It's literally doing therapeutic work for 8,000 hours. And I keep saying that because I can't actually believe it, because that's kind of crazy, but really exciting that 2,000 hours off that original dream. So dreams really do come true with a bit of hard work. And it has been hard work. It's not been plain sailing. It's not all been fun. However, there has been some freaking epic moments. So I'm blabbing. Let's go. So the first, now these are in no specific order. It's just kind of what came through as and when. But the first one is that understanding that at present, I heard a really lovely teacher, a neurologist, say it recently, and I just absolutely just was like, wow, that gets it. We are a left brain society at the moment, so everything is all about the left hand side of the brain, the logic, the facts, the figures, and da-da-da-da-da. However, if I've learned anything over 8,000 hours, that working with neurodivergent people takes a lot of right brain creativity. You have to use that other side of your brain in order to problem solve, be creative in your approaches, explore concepts. Like the conversations I've had with some children, like literally we are questioning whys of like, but why does the universe expand at the speed of light? Why is a star born? Do people make these choices? Why do adults say one thing and then do the other? Like, there's a lot. So be comfortable with switching to the other side of your brain, because honestly, to have that opportunity to use the left-hand side and the right-hand side at different points in your interactions makes for just this like blissful experience. Number 2, the system is broken. Like, I hear it every day. I hear frustrations, I hear anger, I hear upset, I see stress, and I see stacking effect. And we know the system is broken. And from observation, it has just been like for the past 8,000 years watching the system play Jenga. So they take bits off here and put it back on top, and bits off here and put it back on top, saying it's a brand new thing. and we still get the same results. So we know, but as human beings, we can make that change and that difference, mainly through our interactions. Like, that is where our power is. Apologies about the background noise, but that's some epic wind that's going on. Number 3, we grow to the people around us. So I definitely have noticed and learned over the years that people are a bit like plants. They grow to their plant pot they're put in. And the only way to keep that growth going is by altering those plant pots. I heard a rodeo person recently says iron sharpens iron, and I think that's really nice metaphor, that kind of the people you surround yourself with will either inspire you or kind of keep you under containment. So really helping, it's not just the individual I see, it's those that they're surrounded with that need to be ready for those changes, because it will challenge some of them and it will ask them to grow just as much. What's next? People say unkind things. Yeah, it is what it is. People are kind and people are unkind. We have the joy of freedom of speech, and kind of it just comes with the territory. So you just got to know you, do you, because you're actually the best person for that, and kind of be aware, but also know what is fact and what is just their own deal. So I see a lot of projection. So what they're feeling, they will then project and make it all about you. And you're like, really? I just don't agree with that. So knowing that just people, not everybody wants to change, and that is okay. That is so okay. But it's also okay for you to go, well, if you don't want to go any further, then we're good. We're really good. Let's carry on our own paths on different directions. So don't get too hung up over it. Unless it's obviously an actual fact, then yeah, you've just been a dingo and you deserve that. So which brings me nicely on to point 5, which is honor your journey. So one thing that has happened over the 8,000 years, it's come in seasons, and sometimes it's really easy to honor my own journey, honor Spirit of the Phoenix and its purity of intentions that were set at hour number 1. But also there have been times when I've been pulled in directions and got really distracted in things that people say I should be, and it's not in alignment. And things have just got worse and worse and worse when that happens. So I really have to consciously go, that's not in my goal list. That's not in my personal development growth. I don't want to be part of that. And if that is a problem, then we can find a solution from that. And I just honoring as these last 2,000 hours, I'm like, I want to make them the best 2,000 hours ever. So I'm going to honor them to be as authentic to what Spirit of the Phoenix is about. But with that, I have to take responsibility. So my responsibility is, if I make those choices, like, pull up your bootstraps, Naomi, because you got to deal with the consequence of it. So if I then get a consequence of it, like, I have to deal with that. I can't just go, oh, well, I wanted that choice, but I didn't want the consequence of it. It doesn't work like that. If I don't poo pick, the field gets full of poo. Like, that's a consequence of my laziness. If I'm on top of it, the grass grows, and that's a consequence of my choices and actions. Number 6, things evolve. We are evolving species. We as human beings, we've evolved to an extent, but also not evolved in others. So technology's evolved massively, but as human beings, I do question at times how much we have evolved. But either way, the systems around us are constantly evolving. They're meant to. And we're meant to be aware of that evolution, but again, stay in alignment with our truths. So knowing that actually what once was a few years ago, it's outgrown, you now do something else. And I definitely noticed over the hours, there are some key themes that have always stayed like baseline truth. They are my foundation. But my why has got so complex and beautifully nuanced that I get like the detail of the details now that I would never have seen. I just knew it worked, but probably didn't know why. And now I have the why. And I think that's the main evolution that I've seen and that I hope will continue. I'm pushing for that to continue. Oh yeah. Number 7, follow your God nudges. They're really good. They never make much sense, and they always probably first of all get kind of ridiculed or judged or crucified a bit. But there's a reason, and when you honor your truth and don't get distracted and you follow those nudges, it's pretty exceptional what stories you get to experience and then pass on to others. And for those who know about the books and me writing books and stuff like that, storytelling, I'm a huge believer in it. It just creates these little miniature worlds of exploration of ideas and concepts. And I just think that if I hadn't followed so many of those nudges, I wouldn't look at my CV now and go, whoa, that is a heck of a journey. And I wouldn't have stories to pass on to the children that kind of go, yeah, but I did this and then this and this happened and this bit was easy and this bit was tough and oh my goodness, I was quaking in my boots on that day. And it's through that I think that nurturing evolution then happens with people. So definitely play around with that. I still like the God story stuff. So if you have any more of those, please add them because I love reading them. And then number 8 is life is tough. And actually I've seen over the hours, we have better air conditioning, but children struggling with temperature control. We have faster cars, but we're later than ever. We have instant food, but we're sicker than ever. We have technology that's supposed to make things efficient, but we're more stressed than ever. Through these changes, we are as human beings, we are supposed to have challenges. It does us good to be uncomfortable. It gets those neurons all excited and starting to talk to each other. And so one thing that I have really tried to honor and will continue to honor is I've heard the best of humankind. I have also heard the worst of humankind. I've heard people do amazing things for each other, and I've heard people do really unkind things to each other or received it. And throughout all those stories, that storm passed through. I can't stop this storm that's happening today. However, one thing that I really feel that is so important is when someone is going through that storm and everything is turmoil and chaos, it is not my job to remove that storm, and it's not my job to avoid the storm. It is my responsibility to sit down next to them and sit in the storm with them. I don't mean take on the storm myself or get involved. I mean, I am just sitting there as a rock, as support to go, you're not alone through this. I can't make the changes for you. I can't make choices for you. I can't take this away from you. But what I can do is make sure that you're not alone through it. So yeah, that's been the kind of 8 kind of lessons, shall we say. Hopefully in 2,000 more hours, I will come up with the 10 and we will be having a very similar conversation. But love to know your thoughts. But I just wanted to share this little moment of woohoo, we're getting there. Yeah, have a great day. Bye.